Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to be talking about 50 signs that you may be watching too much Doctor Who. You have a Doctor Who YouTube channel. You can easily slip 3 Doctor Who references seamlessly into a conversation. Any conversation. You fly into a murderous rage anytime anyone refers to Christopher Eccleston's time on the show as Season 1. You own at least 7 Doctor Who soundtracks. You have named a child after a Doctor Who character or actor. You've actually watched all of the Jodie Whittaker era. You've rewatched episodes of the Jodie Whittaker era. You feel the need to butt into Doctor Who conversations you overhear and correct them on things they're getting wrong. You are one of the people who named the Silurian hypothesis the Silurian hypothesis. You've actually managed to convince yourself that the Jodie Whittaker era is good. You've actually managed to convince yourself that Kill the Moon is good. You have no less than 5 Doctor Who cosplays that are ready at a moment's notice. One of your final papers from a college course about the dangers of government includes cited material from 1984, Fahrenheit 451, and The Sunmakers. You get on YouTube to watch other people watch Doctor Who. You have started no less than 4 Change.org petitions to have Peter Capaldi come back as the Doctor. If you've ever tripped yourself up using the word Liz, and you have to remember whether or not you're talking about the actress Liz Sladen or the character Liz Shaw. You get confused when people refer to the David Tennant era as older episodes. You have literally taken someone to see an episode of Doctor Who in theaters on a first date. You have gotten into a screaming match with a 10-year-old over a trivial Doctor Who fact. The 10-year-old was your child. The 10-year-old was not your child. You don't believe there is such a thing as a trivial Doctor Who fact. When hearing someone refer to Christopher Eccleston as the first Doctor makes your eye involuntarily twitch. When you're doing all kinds of mental mathematical gymnastics trying to figure out how you're going to get your rent paid, but you feel okay because you know you got your pre-order in on the latest collection box set to be announced. You have a restraining order from no less than 3 female Doctor Who companion actors. You know the entire Big Finish timeline and can understand it. You own multiple missing 60s Doctor Who stories in no less than 5 different formats. You've ever attempted to watch the premiere of a new episode on 4 different screens at the same time just to boost the overnight viewing figures. You can't remember your children's birthdays, but you can recite the years that every actor played the Doctor in your sleep. You stabbed someone once because they said they didn't like Meglos. You think it would have been much more understandable if they'd said they didn't like City of Death or Genesis. If you have gotten over a dozen autographs from David Tennant, If you've ever asked David Tennant to name one of his children after you. You have at least 3 saved playlists of just Doctor Who music that you listen to in your car. You've created a life-size replica of the Merca. Your girlfriend gets mad at you because she accuses you of never listening to her because you're always watching Doctor Who. Or something like that. When explaining why the Pertwee era is objectively the best era, you talk in a tone like a kindergarten teacher talking to her students. You facepalm any time anyone refers to him as Doctor Who. You spend more time working on content for your Doctor Who YouTube channel than you do at your actual job for far less money. Wait a minute. You can watch any new episode of Doctor Who 7 times in a week. You've made it this far into the video. At least 3 actors who have played the Doctor know you by name at conventions. You actually send Doctor Who fan mail to people on social media, like YouTube and Twitch and so on. And bless you too. Bless you. If you've ever stole Paul McGann's sonic screwdriver. If you've ever sat through a Doctor Who spin-off series just because you hope the Doctor might show up at some point. If you've ever heard Dalek voices in your dreams. If Russell T. Davies has ever blocked you on social media because you kept sending him script ideas. Not actual scripts, just script ideas. Hey Russell, how about one where there's a volcano and the Doctor has to cool it off with a big block of ice? Yeah, that would make a really good script. Yeah, you should get on that. You've ever spent more on a life-size Dalek replica than on a car? You have assembled an Ocean's 11 caliber team ready to break in and liberate any missing 60s Doctor Who stories from private collectors and are ready to go at a moment's notice from the slightest anonymous tip from any source. Your significant other elbows you in the ribs and wakes you up because you were quoting John Pertwee in your sleep. Again. And that is 50 signs that you have been watching too much Doctor Who. I want to know what you think, so comment down below and let's talk about it. Don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button as well. I have a feeling there will be some bloopers at the end of this. I also have a Patreon. If you like what I do and would like to support what I do, there is a link to that down in the description. I want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons, Stephen Crane, Colin Coney, and Finn Perkins. I appreciate their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. It's very much appreciated. I also have my P.O. box down there. A link to my Amazon wishlist is down there. A link to my Amazon UK wishlist is down there as well. I do have a birthday coming up soon, toward the early part of July, if anyone would like to get me anything for that. I'd love to get some more of these collection sets, these standard collection sets. I'd love to get some more of those. I only have the season 18 one. I'd also love to get the Klein trilogy from Big Finish, and even though it won't be out till August, I'd love that season 1 steelbook that's way overpriced and I can't afford right now, if anyone would like to send that. Most importantly, though, as always, don't forget to wait for the bloopers. There will be bloopers. And thank you for watching. You have a Doctor Who YouTube channel. You have a Doctor Who YouTube channel. You have a Doctor Who YouTube channel. I can't, this is going to be so hard. You have a Doctor Who YouTube channel. You can easily slip 3 Doctor Who references into... No. You have... You can easily slip 3 Doctor Who references seamlessly into a conversation. Any conversation. You've actually watched all of the Jodie Whittaker era. Error? Error. Error? Error. You are one of the people who named the no. One of your final papers in a college course on the dangers of government include cited material. You spend more time working on content for your... I actually do that, because anytime I hear people talk about older episodes, my mind just immediately goes to classic Doctor Who. So I assume they're talking about classic Doctor Who. So it's always weird when they're talking older episodes, and then they bring up, like, Blink or Silence in the Library, and I'm like, that's not older. And then I have to remember they're from, like, 2007, 2008. Just whenever I hear older episodes, I immediately jump to classic Who mentally. I can't be the only one that does that. You have literally taken someone to the theater to see an episode of No, let's do that different. You have literally taken someone to see an episode of Doctor Who in theaters on a first date. I've totally done that. I've mentioned that before on the channel. When you're doing all kinds of mental gymnastics. When you are doing all kinds of mental mathematical gymnastics trying to figure out how you're going to pay rent, but you feel okay because you know you've got your pre-order in on the latest copy of Doctor Who The Collection box set that's coming out. When you're doing all kinds of mental mathematical gymnastics trying to figure out how you're going to get your rent paid, but you feel okay because you know you got your pre-order in on the latest collection box set to be announced. You stabbed someone once because they said they didn't like Magloss. Magloss? You get on YouTube to watch other people watching Doctor Who. You get on YouTube to watch other people watch Doctor Who. Your girlfriend gets mad at you because she claims you never listen to her. Right, not claims, because she's trying to. When explaining why the Pertwee era is objectively the best era, you talk to... These long ones are hard. When explaining why the Pertwee era is the... You can watch any episode... At least 3 Doctor... If you've ever... You've ever attempted to watch a... How did I write that? You've ever attempted to watch the premiere of a new episode. You've heard Dalek voices in your dreams. If you've ever heard Dalek voices in your dreams. Or even worse, if you're awake.